Hi there, my name is Vicky and I'm here with a new series on the Docker. In this Docker series or tutorial, you will learn from the basic to advanced level. This Docker series is further divided into chapters. So if you want, you can follow along step by step in order to get deep knowledge on the Docker. Here are the list of topics which I am going to cover in this series. We'll start with the installation on the Docker on the Linux or Ubuntu machine. Then we will talk about the permission, understanding the architecture of the Docker. After that, we will do demos related to the Docker file, and in the Docker file we are going to cover all the keywords like the copy keyword, add keyword, work dir, environment. These things we are going to cover with the demo. And in the last, I am also going to create a shell script where I am going to delete all the unused containers and images with that script. Now, if you are here for the first time, then do subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon so that you will get notified of the latest videos. Now in this video we are going to learn what Docker volume is. So let's suppose I want to see all the volume which are connected to my Docker. So how I can do that? Okay, before that I already logged into my machine. This is a AWS machine. So here is my machine and this is the public IP, and I have connected to my machine. And if you don't know how to create a machine on the Amazon, you can always go to my previous video and check how to create a EC2 machine. The link is there in the description, and how to install a Docker and how to give permission to the user for Docker. If you need to know all those things, you can go to the previous video. Again, the link is in the description. Now this is related to the Docker volume. Now let's suppose I want to see all the volumes which are there in my for my Docker container. So how I can do that? That is docker volume ls. The same command we need to use, like for the container we always do that docker container ls. The same thing we have to go like docker volume ls. It will show all the volume which are there for your Docker container. As of now there is no container running, there is no image, and there is no volume. So my environment is clean right now. So let's create a MySQL container. Okay, and we are also going to do a demo where I'm going to show you. I'm going to create one MySQL container. I'm going to install some databases on that, and after that I'm going to take the backup of that volume, and then we are going to attach that volume to a new container. So all those things, how we can do that, we are going to see in this video. So let's start. Now the first thing which I need to do is I need to go to the Docker Hub. Now here I am in my Docker Hub, and let me search for MySQL image. Now the first one is the official image, and if I need to pull, that is docker pull MySQL. And if I scroll down, we have the supported tags, who is the maintainer of this, if we need help, where we need to go, and just scroll down a bit. If we need to start a MySQL server, what we need to do is we need to use this command. Okay, and after that, how to connect, and there is an option for the volume as well. Here is the option for the volume as well. Now this is we are going to cover in this video. Now the first thing first, we need to pull this image to our local machine, or else what we can do is we can start a container, and at the time of launching the container it is going to pull that image. So let me go. As of now I don't have any image. Let me go with the Docker images, and let me go docker container ls. Okay, so spelling is not correct. Container ls, there is no container as well. Let me copy this command. Now what exactly it is going to do is, it is going to run the container in the background with the name MySQL test -e, that is for environment, and I'm telling that I'm not going to give any password for the MySQL. So it is telling MySQL allow empty password is equal to true MySQL, and MySQL is the name of the image. Now this image is not locally installed on my machine. So what it is going to do is, the first thing, it is going to pull this image from the Docker Hub. Let's hit enter and see. Now unable to find image locally, so it is pulling it from the Docker Hub. Let's wait for it to get complete. We are done. Now let me do Docker container ls. I can see one MySQL container is running with the name MySQL-test, and it is running on port number 3306. This is the command, and this is the image, and this is the container ID. Now the next thing, Docker images. Now we have one image as well, that is for the MySQL. Okay. Now the next thing, we need to check the volume, Docker volume ls. Now there is one volume. Earlier there was no volume, but now one volume is created, and this volume is for this container. Now how I can verify this thing? I have couple of ways. The first way is Docker volume inspect, and then I need to give the volume ID. This is the volume ID. I need to give the complete. Initials are not going to work here, so let me give the complete name and hit enter. Now it is going to tell me this is the mount point, the name created, and it is telling me this is the location for this. Now if I need to check the location, I can also do that, but for that I need to become a root user first, because the current user has permission to the Docker group, but still this path not able to access. So let me show it to you from the current user, cd var lib docker volumes. See, permission denied. So let me go sudo su minus. Now I logged in with the root user. Let me go to the same path, cd var lib docker volume 2, and here we have the data, this one. Now let me go inside that, cd underscore data. Let me do ls. So I have couple of data already. So this data is related to the MySQL, that's okay. Now let me come out of this thing, exit Docker container ls. Now this is my container which is in running state. Now I need a detail of the volume. This container is connected to which volume, so I can also do that with the inspect command. So Docker container inspect 1a. I can go with the initial here. Now I will get bunch of information. If you need more detail regarding Docker inspect command, how to use this thing, then I have a separate video for that. You can go to the description, or on the top right hand side you can see the link of that video. You can click and see what is Docker inspect command is. But let me scroll down a bit and let's see for the mounts here. Now here it is. It is telling me the destination is this and this is the source. The same thing which we have seen from the Docker volume inspect command, the same thing it is telling me here. Okay, great. Now the next command is I need to go inside my container. So how I can do that? First let me see the container ID, Docker container ls. Now this is my container ID and I need to connect to this container. Now how I can do that? There is a command for that. This is the command Docker container exec -it. Then we need to give the container ID, that is 1a. I'm going with the initial. Here I can give the container ID or the name. So whatever you are comfortable with, like let's suppose you want to go with the name, you can go like this, and after that bash. Now I logged in to this container. Now this container is for the SQL, so that means the SQL is already installed. So let me see my SQL. If I'm going to type, yes, welcome to MySQL monitor. MySQL is already installed. Now let me create some database, but before that let's see if I have the database here or not. So show databases. I have couple of databases. Now let me create some databases. So the command is create database. The first one is it's car data. We need to give this. Okay. Now let me create some databases here. So let me go with the command create database car data. The first one, the second one, database is already exists, so that's okay. Let me create one more. Plain data. Sorry, and let me create one more with the name done. Now let me go with the command show data bases. Now here it is telling me that I have created these databases, right? Now let me come out of this. Okay, now docker volume ls. Now let me go inside this volume and check whether we have the database over there or not. So again I need to become a root user first, because with this current user EC2 I don't have access for this. So now if I need the detail of the mount point, how I can do that? So docker volume inspect and then this volume ID. The spelling is not correct. Inspect. Okay, now here we have the mount point detail. Let me go there. Cd var lib docker volume ls data cd data. Now let me do ls here. See, here we have plain data, here we have funny data and car data. So that means it is recording all those information in the volume. Let me come out of this. And the next thing which I need to do is I need to stop my container or completely remove my container. So docker container ls, this is my container. So how to remove that? First we need to stop the container. So docker container stop 1a. After that we need to remove this thing, docker container rm1a. We are done. Now let me see the volume, docker volume ls. Now the volume is still here. We have removed the container completely, but still we have the volume here. So that means this volume I can attach to a new container. Now how we can do that? Let's see. Let me pull up the same command. This is the command, docker container run -d MySQL. So everything is here. It's just that we need to add one parameter here, that is for the volume, -v. And how we can do that? For that we can go to the Docker hub in MySQL. If I'm going to scroll down a bit, here it is going to tell me like how we can connect a volume. So here it is, -v. This is the source volume and this is the destination volume. Okay, so we need to give in the same way. Let me copy this command. Remove this thing. Okay. Now the volume ID here we need to give. So now from where I will get the volume ID? Again I need to go with the command, that is docker volume inspect. Let me do that, or let me pull up that command, docker volume. Now here it is. Now this is the location, right? Let me copy this location. Let me go back to the previous command. Docker container run minus itd minus v. Here I need to provide that information. The complete path here I need to provide. And to separate this, we need to use this MySQL. Let me hit enter. So it has created one container for me. Let me check docker container ls. Yes, I have one container running. Now the next thing which I need to do is I need to connect to this container so that I can verify whether we have the databases over there or not. Now how to connect? Again, we need to go with the exec command. So let me search for the exec command. Here it is. We just need to change the name here or the container ID. So this time I'm going with the container ID because the name is kind of funny name here. Let me enter. Now I logged into my container. Now MySQL, we know the SQL is already installed in this because this container is created from MySQL profile. The next thing, show databases. Now I can see card data of funny bunny and the plain data here, right? Let me come out of this. Let me go with the read sequence. Okay. So this is how we can connect the volume from one container to another container. Okay. Let me go to the docker volume one more time. Docker volume ls. See, there is only one volume. We can also create our own volume and attach. Like this one is created at the time of creation of the container. We have not created this thing. Now let's suppose my task is to create a volume. So how I can do that? Now for this we are going to go with a different demo this time. This time we are going to use Apache demo. Okay. Now first one, I need to create one volume. So docker volume minus minus help is the command. Now how to create a volume? With the command create. I can inspect, I can do ls, I can prune to remove all the unused volume and rm to remove one or two volumes. Okay. Now docker volume create Apache data. Done. Now let me see with the docker volume ls command. I have one Apache data. Again, if I need the mount information like the complete path of this, how I will get that? For that, docker volume inspect and the name Apache dash data. Now here it is telling me the mount point is this. If I need to verify, I can also do that, but first I need to become a root user sudo su, and I need to go to this location cd var lib docker volume Apache data underscore data. Let me do ls. We have nothing here right now. Great. Let me exit. Now we have created one volume. Now my task is to create a container and attach this volume. What is the benefit of that? The benefit is at the time of creating my container, if I am going to attach this volume which I have created, whatever the update I am going to do in this volume, that is directly going to reflect in my container. So I don't have to do anything like stop my container in order for my data to reflect over there. No, I don't have to do anything. It will automatically reflect. So the syncing is going to be there. Okay. Now again with the inspect command, I need the detail of this thing. This is something we need to give at the time of creating the container, and this time I'm going to create a container for Apache. Now let me go to the Docker Hub and look for the Apache image or HTTPD. Now this is the official image. Again, if we need to pull the image, we can do that with this command. Let me scroll down a bit from HTTP. This is the command we need to use. Where it is going to mount? It is going to mount here. Let me copy this command. I will do a couple of changes for this command. Let me paste it. So the command is docker run -z, and this is the name my Apache app, which is going to run on port number 80, and here we have the volume pwd, that is the present working directory. We don't want to go with the present working directory, we are going with this. Let me copy this thing. Paste it here, and it is going to pull up HTTP D 2.4. Let me enter. So it is unable to find the image locally, so from where it is pulling it from the Docker hub, and it is running on port number 80. Let me verify it with docker container ls. Now we have one container running, which is running on port number 8080. Now let me verify whether we have this Apache server running on port number 8080 or not. Let me grab the public IP of my AWS EC2 machine. Let me go to the console and let me go to the Google and 8080. Yes, it is working right now, right? It is working. Now I need to change this web page. How I can do that? So for that we need to become a root user, right? We need to go to this path. Let me go to this path, cd var lib docker volume apache underscore data ls. Now let me create a index.html here, source nano index.html file here, testing from local machine volume. Done. I'm not going to stop my container, or I'm not going to run any of the sync command. Let me go here, refresh this page. Yes, I can see the changes. Let me do changes one more time. Nano let me refresh this one. Yes, I can see the content is updated in real time, so I don't have to sync anything, I don't have to stop my container, rerun my container, I don't have to do anything. So this is the advantage we have when we are creating a volume. Okay, now let me stop this container. For that, let me come out from the root user first, docker container ls. This is my container. How to stop that? Docker container stop and 1e. Let me remove it, docker container rm1e. Now my container is completely removed. Let me verify it. Yes, my container is completely removed. Now let me go to the volume, docker volume ls. I can see my volume is still there. So if I need to create a new container, I can give the path over there for this volume, and all the data which is there in this volume will get connected to the new container. So this is how we can create a volume. This is how we can attach a volume. So the host volume with the container volume. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, do subscribe my channel and